This might be before some of you all's times. We don't own the right to this music. Woman needs love just like you do. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. To our replay viewers, thank you so much for joining us. We're excited that you're here. If you're here live, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Say hello so that we can say hello back. I know, yes, you only see me, but yes, I said we. We're super excited to be here with you tonight. So again, welcome and thank you. We are talking about her needs. Yes. So invite somebody to the conversation. Yeah, because fellas, I want to know. We got some questions. Can a woman really expect to have her needs met? Do you even understand what a woman needs? Now, fellas, before you get in the uproar and a tizzy, it's May. We celebrated Mother's Day last week. And so that's why we put the end, because you're a gentleman. We put her needs first. But I got some stuff. I'm gonna see how many feathers we can ruffle tonight. Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah. So again, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna have Coach Jay introduce himself in just a few minutes, but we're super excited to be here with you. It's Fiery Friday, so get your drink, your popcorn, your chips. Put the kitties away and come on in for this conversation. We're gonna have a hard conversation. We're gonna start some conversations in hopes that some of you couples can continue after Fiery Friday. So we want to hopefully introduce some of the hard topics so that you don't have to. But nonetheless, I'm super excited to be here with you all. Looking forward to a great conversation tonight. So please say hello. And we're going to say hello back. Want to, hey. All right. Come on, suit and tie. A shirt, button up shirt and tie. What you say? Hey there. Hey, Cheryl. Hey. Super excited that you guys are here. Thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to this amazing conversation. So women's needs. I did put a couple polls out there because I wanted some real-time answers from some ladies. They were very honest. That some of them were very in-depth. And I'm just wondering, to all the men out there, do you really know what a woman needs? Or do you think you know? Are you sure? Better question, do you know what your woman needs? Type it in the chat. Let me know. I want to know if you know so that we'll know together. But again, we're super excited to have you here tonight. So I'm going to share something. And I think Jay is getting situated. He's going to let me know when he's ready. Are you ready, sir? Because you're not on camera. Coach Jay Hart. He ain't listening. All right, we're going to wait for him to come on camera. So listen. I was reading, I was reading relationship, men and women, psychology books, relationships, marriages, communication, all that kind of good stuff. And one of the books that I'm looking at now is Understanding the Purpose and Power of Women. And so I want to share something that Dr. Miles Monroe wrote. And this is a book that was reprinted in 2018. So fairly new, updated. God's design, equal and different. He created them male and female, blessed them, and when they were created, he called them man. Genesis 5 and 2. Men and women are equal. What we've learned about the purpose and creation of humanity in the last chapter is the basis for their equality. Man is created in the image of God. Man has a spirit. Male and female are both man. The spirit man resides in both male and female. Good evening. Both male and female have different direct spiritual access to God and are responsible to Him. Both male and female were given dominion over the earth. Regardless to what culture and society say, the highest worth and dignity were given to the female by God in creation. She was created equal with the man and was given the task, along with the male, of having dominion over the earth and fulfilling God's purpose in both the physical and spiritual realms. So look, we know that we are far from the original intent, but that doesn't mean that we don't keep the original intent in our view, that we don't strive to be as close to that model, that representation as we should be. But I got to be honest, we are so far from it. And a lot of times when people have no knowledge of history, they just make it up as they go. And a lot of times when you look at relationships today, it's like, okay, we're going to make it up as we go. And whatever works, whatever feels good, whatever I say, whatever I've seen, whatever I've experienced, that's what it is. But at a point when all that doesn't work, you've got to have an original design. You got to have an original blueprint to go back to. And so, as we begin to talk about her needs, I want us to really consider what the original intent was. Now, I know we could probably spend decades trying to get back at it, but at a point, let's create something in this earth, in this lifetime, that is going to work for both him and for her. Coach Jay. Good evening, sunshine. How you doing?
Good evening. Good evening. I love Dr. Miles Monroe. He is an amazing. He was an amazing man on this earth. Truly missed, but his ministry yet still lives on. Getting back to square one is going to take It's going to take you and your partner's time and dedication to relearning what you know about love, to be retaught the things of life, love, and relationships. It's going to take you and your partner's time and dedication and truthfulness about love, life, and relationships. It can be done. You just want to have to want to put in the work to get to where you want to go. And to get into understanding men, what your woman needs. I said it before and I'll say it again. If she don't know, there's no way that you're going to know. And I don't care what you put out in front of her until she understands who she is and where she's going. It's not a lot that you can do. You can help unpack and unravel some things. But until she has a clear a clear pathway of where she's going, it's going to kind of be hard. But this is the thing about love. If you truly love her, you'll be in it for the long haul, and you'll be there and ready to help unpack, to help unravel. You'll be there to ask the tough questions, not because you being nosy, but because you love her and you want to see her succeed. When you love someone, that's something that you desire for them to know that you love them. There's some things that you're going to have to be willing to give up. There's some sacrifices that you're going to have to make in order to know what she truly needs. There's some vulnerabilities that's going to have to be open. There's some vulnerabilities that's going to have to be displayed. And you're just going to honestly have to be truthful about the relationship and where you see it going, where you want it to go. Nonetheless, you need to make sure that it's the right relationship that you're supposed to be in. Because I believe that we've spent so many years doing God knows what with God knows who. And he's like, I'm going to give these years back, but you wasted 10 with somebody I told you just to say hi and bye to. So, yeah, let's dive into this one.
So you said the man is to love her. How so? Because
Say
that
that
is
again.
what the word says, that husbands love your wives as Christ loved the church,
Hmm. And he also did what?
gave himself. He was a sacrifice.
That's it.
But
I
how
think
many
in relationship,
really
I think in
understand that?
relationship, we all need to understand that there's a sacrifice, man and woman. And if you're really serious about diving into this relationship and giving it your all, then there's some things that you're going to have to sacrifice. I didn't say give up you totally. I'm just saying if you're in. Let me be clear. Let me be clear, because I don't want nobody quoting me incorrectly. If this is the relationship that God ordained for you to be in, and both of you two are in the same like mind that says yes, this is what God has ordained for us to do, then yes, going into that and walking this out, there's going to have to be some sacrifices, and
Now
that's how you
you
love each other.
you said a whole lot. Ah, if we know that we're supposed to be together, all right. Okay, so let me just talk about me. When I got married, I was like, hey, I love Jesus, you love Jesus. I love you, you love me, and some other things. God, you okay with this? He didn't say no, but he didn't say yes. It's okay. Got the green light. Got the green light.
That wasn't a green
And,
light,
and,
but okay.
well, I took it for a green light. Post those relationships, I understand that until he says yes is no. So people have to get to, I guess we could argue it from a lot of standpoints, but if you really want to have God's best for your life, he has to be in that equation. Otherwise, we're just doing our own thing, doing it like me. I had a Frank Sinatra ministry, was doing it my way. We have to have a desire to do it his way. And that goes way back. If, let's start with our relationship with him.
I was just about to say that part. Like literally, you took the words right out of my mouth. If you don't have a relationship with the Father, there's no way that you're going to sit back and study and say, "Hey, Father, is this is if this is your will?" Like you said, I took it as X, Y, and Z since he didn't say nothing. Well, he didn't say nothing because he wasn't speaking. So we need to hold our mule. and sometimes we don't. Because it's funny, I was driving to work thinking about this topic, and I was like, there's so many times that we don't wait because we don't want to wait, or we have these 10 things. Okay, Lord, you said be specific in my prayer, so I need this and this, and I label 5 things, and a man or a woman comes up with 3 of them, and we say, oh shoot, he got the three I really was talking about. Well, the other two was significant too. The other two was significant too. And I think we settle for what looks good. And then sometimes I'm going to dive into this, and I'm going to dive right back out. Take, sometimes we want what we want, and we throw away what we need when it don't looks like what we want. I'm done. I'm going to throw that out. That's going to be for another topic. But I think we need to go back to the beginning and start this love thing back over again, which starts with loving Christ, loving ourselves, then loving our mate.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here. Listen, you are joining us for Fiery Friday. We're talking about her needs, talking about women and their needs. And yes, we're going to get to that, but we got to, when you're putting the cake together, you got to talk about the eggs and the butter and the flour and all of the ingredients before you can even get to the oven, the pan, and the baking of the cake. So, again, welcome and thank you so much for being here. Please invite someone to the conversation, share the broadcast if you have not already done so. We appreciate you joining us. And listen, it is a conversation, so feel free to comment. Yes, we will respond to your comments. Now, some of them we can't see. I'm kind of juggling multi-devices, trying to make sure I get your responses and any questions that you may have. But go ahead, feel free to participate. So, her needs. Wow. So, I would. We could go so far with this. Um, so, what if the man doesn't know his purpose? He don't know what he's supposed to be doing. He just, been out here doing the best that he can. He a good guy, not perfect, but striving. Isn't that enough? If he loves her, isn't that enough?
Was that a question to me?
It's a question on the table.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I'll say this, and I'm going to, please. I'm not going to say forgive me. I'm going to sound like a broken record. I'm going to repeat myself a few times because I think it needs to be said and or repeated. So I'll answer that question with this answer, and I say it all the time. The success of your life rises and falls on the decisions that you make and or don't make. But always remember, a decision that you do not make is a decision that is made. So to answer your question, that's up to her. That's up to him. Whether you want to take this person with, I don't want to say flaws, but with the missing ingredients, since we're talking about baking cakes. If you want to take somebody with the missing ingredients that you feel you need for your life, then that's a you decision. And apparently, sooner or later, it will be a you problem because you did what you said you didn't want to do, and that was to settle. But my question is, do we know who we are, whose we are, and the things that we need to, or do we know the things that we want to have in our relationships? The characteristics and all that other stuff that you say that you want your mate to have. Because if you don't know, how they gonna know? Once again, I'll go back to something I said a while back and I'll repeat it again. If you don't know your love language, how am I supposed to know? Because you are my teacher on how to treat you. So if you don't know, then I can't know. I can only go on what I see and what I think and go from there.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
So he has work to do and she has work to do. However, you said, beginning of the conversation, I'm there to support her, and I'm not quoting you verbatim. I'm there to help her unpack some things. I would think that if that were the case, that means that you good and you've already taken care of the things that you need to take care of.
No, not at all. Um, every
So
day is
how
a
do we
learning.
determine when we're both ready?
Every day is a learning experience for everybody. And you just have to know you. Some people that say they're ready are not ready. And some people that are ready still are dealing with some small hiccups and mistakes. You are the only one that knows when it's time. You are the only one that knows when you have gone through the process of healing and mending and all that other good stuff that you have to do. You're the only one that knows that says, hey, okay, I'm ready to love again. uh I believe that we are here to help each other. And like I said, here to help each other unpack some stuff, because every relationship you're going to go in is not going to be perfect. Something's going to come up, something's going to come out, and it's going to have to be dealt with. But the thing is, if I see you with a suitcase and I'm here to unpack it, are you ready to unpack that suitcase? Because I can be ready all I want to. But if my mate is not ready to unpack this, good evening. If my mate is not ready to unpack the things that that he or she is dealing with, there's nothing that I can do. I can't force you to take into consideration the things that you're yet still holding on to. We can talk about it, or I can let you know that I'm there. But if you're not ready to do it, then all I can do is stand by and wait, or I can love you from afar. Because realizing that you still have issues to deal with and you don't want to deal with makes the other person null and void. And when I say that, it's like I'm just standing there and you're dealing with this pain, but you don't want to. Going through these issues, but you don't want to deal with the process of healing from them. So I'm standing there with my hands tied behind my back because you have to open the bag before I can. Because I can approach it and try to open it, but you have to be the one to actually open it up and start taking that stuff out and dealing with it accordingly.
That's good. I feel like you said the person should know if they're ready. I don't think you know that you're ready on your own. I think you have to there has to be a standard of readiness. And so that means either you're intentionally seeking wisdom and counsel from someone to really understand if you are or not. But a lot of people they don't believe in that. Why I gotta go to counseling? Even in the midst of marriage is like a car. If you don't get your car maintained, you don't get that oil change, you don't put gas in it regularly, you don't go to the car wash, you don't keep the windshield washer fluid in there, the transmission fluid and all of that, you gonna have a heap of a mess going nowhere. So marriage is the same way. You've got to be doing that ongoing maintenance. You got to be doing that process. But before you can even get to that, there are some prerequisites. And I think a lot of times we miss the prerequisites, or we so busy. Again, I get to talk about me. So busy trying to get to the altar, trying to have a big party. If you want a big party, just have a big party. Have a big party and dress up. But when it comes to the covenant of marriage, that's a serious thing. You've got to want to do the things required. to really make a covenant commitment work?
Once again, I was driving to work and I said that people who are unsure about where they are and who they are and how to deal with the pain of the past make people or can make people that they hook up with feel inadequate. And when you make someone feel like they are not enough for you and y'all break up, sometimes that inadequacy carries over to the next relationship. And it's not that they're inadequate, it's just that you was not ready for what they had to offer, because there's some people that are ready to be married. But when they hook up with people that are still on the rocks and stuff, they can, I didn't say do, but they can make certain people feel inadequate. And when you make someone feel like they're not enough, some people don't have the wherewithal to understand maybe I was not enough for you, and or maybe it was not my season to meet you in this tense, because we can meet the right person at the wrong time, and it'll be hell on wheels. I think when we are presenting ourselves, we need to be true to ourselves about the isms and or issues of our life, and let it be known. Let it be known going forward. But that's how you meet his and or her needs, being open at the forefront of it, and going in together saying, hey, this is what I need, this is what you need, this is how I do it. I'm not saying you have to do it verbatim, but this is who I am.
We have a comment from someone, from Sherry, actually. She said, wait a minute, give me an example of things a person needs help with, because I avoid relationships with issues that the person is dealing with and they're not trying to resolve on their own. Well, I mean, you said it at the end. If they're not trying to resolve it on their own, then you can't help them. You can pray for them, you can encourage them, but unless until they're willing to do the work, you would labor in vain. Life's too short. Keep it
It
moving. We
it
gonna be friends, and I'm gonna see
it
you
really
later.
it really is. Life is too short for you to try to help somebody who don't want help or don't think they need help. You will you will spin your wheels and dig yourself in a ditch. It has driven people crazy. It has driven people to drinking. It has driven people to loving someone less than their best. It has driven people to settling in another relationship. I think that we need to understand that when we get to that point and we find somebody that's like that, that we need to learn how to love them from afar. I can't attach myself to your mess, and I cannot attach myself to the things that you don't want to deal with. But what I can do is show love towards you and say, hey, I'm here, I'm praying. And when God lays it on your heart, call them and leave them a message and say, hey, I'm praying for you, and or at least pray for them and send the message to them. I think we my sister said something in a podcast months ago. I don't know if Kim is on here, but she said sometimes we take on projects that God just wanted us to help and not court and date. And we tend to try to put the pieces of their lives together with them standing by the side looking. It's not your ministry. That really, no. You really need to understand. I had to get to the point that I had to understand, because I was trying to be Superman before, and try to, I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that, and all to get slapped in the face. And then when they said, crap, he did love me, and then they came back around, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing that, and then get slapped in the face again. to the point where I had to realize, like, I gotta love you from afar, because the process that I'm on is me healing, and you need to take that same process. I understand that you want what you want, but you're not ready to receive what you say you want.
So, what do you mean when you say you can meet someone and not be ready for them? How do you know that?
We pray and pray and pray, Lord, Lord, send me this, Lord. You know what I need, Lord. I know what I need. Lord, I just need a man that does this, that, and the other. Lord, I need. If you just send me the woman that can do this, that, and the other, Lord, I know that's gonna be the one for me. And then the Lord send them, and then you hell on wheels when they get there. We can be we can be praying for what we're not ready for, because in your praying there's a preparation. And if you're not preparing yourself for what you're praying for, you can miss it. There's been plenty of times where I said, I need this, I need this, I need this, and got it and didn't know what to do with it. Like, now what? That's like giving a 15-year-old the keys to a Corvette. You know, nothing to do with it. They know they can drive it, but they don't understand there's a way to do certain stuff with it. You can't drive it like you drive any other car. You can't maintenance it like you maintenance any other car. Ready? Hey, bro, she ain't Stacy. She ain't Rebecca. She ain't Melissa. She ain't Karen. She ain't Courtney. You can't love her the same way that you love the other ones, because this is something totally different. This is a God send. But if you're not ready for what God is sending, you can blow it. You can mistreat it. You can mishandle it. Ask a couple of pastors who had to leave their church. Mega stars, but couldn't handle the success. Ask any football player, basketball player, baseball player, boxer. They got what they wanted for, but when they got there, they couldn't handle it.
We bottom line, we need to get ready, 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 ready. Like seriously, especially as it relates to this thing called relationship, committed relationship, covenant relationship. You got to get ready, and there is a way to get ready. There's a way to study for an exam. There's a way to take a class so that you pass it. There's a way, and I think a lot of times we just think it's gonna come out the sky. It's gonna be osmosis. I don't know why we think that about money. We think that about raising children. We think that about relationship that is just gonna come. It's gonna fall out the sky. I'm gonna wake up and all of a sudden have everything that I need. And no, you don't. And if you've been through any amount of relationship, you will come to understand that even what you thought you knew, or the little bit you thought you knew, there's so much more to learn. So you got to get some help.
There's a process to everything that we do in life. I don't care what it is. You just don't go to the store, get the ingredients for a cake, and then put them all in a bowl and say, voila, here's your cake. A
Yeah, it
woman
don't work
don't
like
just,
that.
a woman just don't get pregnant and then the next day she give birth. There's a process to everything that we do. And I think that we are either one or two things: don't think we need to go through the process, and or are afraid of the process. Either way, either you're afraid or you don't want to go to, you're going to miss the things that God has for you. There's a growing up that we have to do. There's a maturing that we have to do when you talk about this thing called love, life, and relationship. There's a understanding that you need to have when you're trying to make sure that you are giving her the needs that she requires. You have to sit back and you have to study her. You have to hear her when she's not speaking. You have to. I, I. It's funny. I dated a young lady years ago, and she used to go, or you make these little old small little noises and stuff, or she just starts sounding like a And it was crazy. It was at one point in time I actually understood and knew what she was talking about. And she looked one day, she says, "How in the world do you know what I'm saying?" I said, "Am I true about what you say?" Oh, I said, "Is it right what I'm saying to you about what you're saying?" She said, "Yeah, because I sat back and I watched you and I studied you. And if you don't study your mate, it's like playing chess. If you don't watch the board, you can miss certain things that's happening, and it's easily checkmate." I've seen a guy win a chess game in 3 moves, and the guy he was playing never seen it, never seen the setup. If you don't watch how your mate is set up, you can miss certain key points. If you don't listen to her when she speaks and when she don't speaks, her mannerisms and her attitude, you will never know how to give her what she needs. Vice versa. If you don't study your man, if you don't hear him when he's not talking, you will never understand how to function with him. There's pastors I've seen in churches where they do hand signals, and the people who know they're on it. They're on it because they know what these hand signals mean. If you don't know what the signals and sign mean, how can you please and or know your mate? It comes with studying. It's come with preparation. It comes with learning. It's come with unlearning what you thought you knew to learn what you need to know about the situation that you're in today. Because what happened yesterday is what happened yesterday, and today is a whole new day.
So bottom line, get some help. Get some help. Get some help. One of the reasons why we started these well, Jay joined me in the Fiery Friday conversations in November, and then we started a group, and that's why we started a group, because we want to have these ongoing conversations, not just on Fridays, so that you can begin to look at your life and look at where you are and look at the different opinions about relationship and the different issues that might arise, so that you'll understand where you have some areas that are still a little tender, still a little sensitive, and some areas where you know that you're strong in, and with that you can help someone else, empower them to heal in a particular area. So, it's important that you get some help. Be surrounded by, if everybody in your circle got jacked up relationships, then what do you think you're going to have? Especially if nobody's trying to get help. We just either living with the stress and the distress and staying there, the dysfunction, or we're moving on to the next, never really having solved the problems that were present. So you definitely want to get the help that you need, especially if you want to be successful in this area. What I find is that, and again, as I and it requires both the man and the woman to be getting the help. But I don't know, unless y'all do it in secret societies, I don't see the men far and wide. Do y'all come together? That's like my question. Y'all come together? Do y'all have, like, for real chats, like real life issue, or everybody just like, ain't my business. I'm not getting involved, because I don't want to be in a community of women where we all failing and ain't nobody trying to pick nobody else up. I saw it. There was a question in another group that I'm in about if this lady, she saw somebody following her. She walked up to somebody to try to talk to them so that this person would stop following her. And the question was, what would you do if you were in that situation? And a lot of the men were saying, It ain't my business. I ain't trying to get involved in that. And yet the women, closest situation. I had a situation where my car was stuck in the middle of the street. You know how many men rolled past me? And I get it. You never know what's going on. But I was like literally in the middle of the day, in the middle of the street, stopped, and I could count 40 or 50 men that passed me by. It took this little bitty old sweet little girl, because she was younger than me, to pull over and help and get help. Because it was like, everybody I called, I was like, okay, I can't get nobody. Oh wow. Is that what so my question is, do the men help the men? Is there truly men sharpening other men? I'm honored because every coach got to have a coach. Every pastor got to have a pastor. Every mentor has to have a mentor. I'm in a coaching community, incredible coaching community where the men are being empowered to be the mighty men of valor, to be the men, so that the women, as they're, and it's like we're working on ourselves together. And that's so cool to me, because if the women are working and the men ain't doing the work, then you got a whole bunch of women ready for what? So it's important that you get the help. Backing up, bottom line, get the help that you need. Okay, so listen, let's talk about the needs, her needs. So, we've been doing this Mars versus Venus based on men are from Mars, women are from Venus, the book by John Gray. And so in that book, he outlines 6 primary emotional needs for a woman. So let's talk about them. So the first one is caring and safety. A woman needs to feel safe in her relationship. A woman needs to be safe in the areas, because for every woman it's going to be different. Uh Safety and security isn't always going to be money, because you can have a woman who makes good money, sometimes better money than he does. She's not looking for you to make the money, but there is a level of safety and security that she is looking for. And safety and security, and she wants you to be able to provide that. She's looking for you to make her feel safe, to share her heart, to be able to be vulnerable. Nothing worse than a man who ain't got time. Girl, stop all that. I ain't got time for that. Then I can't trust you with my heart. If I can't have a moment, if I can't be myself, if I can't break down in front of you and you be okay, you a lot of times, which I know, men, you want to solve the problem. You want to get the answer. A lot of times, we don't even want you to get the answer. We just want you to hear us, feel us, see us, and acknowledge us in that whole situation. But if you are allowing your Iron Man hear me roar, let me solve this problem for you. Again, that's a man who, hey Tanika, that's a man who, I don't know, got his own thing going. Is he really concerned about what she really needs in that instance? So caring and safety, that security piece, is one of the major emotional needs that a woman has. You got something you want to share about that?
Why you say that? I'm listening because, and everything you said was true, and I'm not playing the devil's advocate, but I think that we first need to realize the gender roles that we all play, and men do this, women do this, but I also want everybody to realize that the openness Some people only know how to do what they know how to do because that's all they know. And there are some people who are not ready to evolve into what needs to happen in this day, in this space. And as Bishop Jakes always said, we need to learn how to love people and respect people where they are until they're ready to move to that next place. Some men only know how to be this rock because that's what daddy taught them, or that's what uncle taught them, or that's what they feel society needs for men to be. So they don't know how to show the softer side. Some men feel if they show the softer side, that means, because some women have said it, if they show the softer side, then he's weak. But there's other women who say, I want to know that my man have a softer side. But if we don't verbalize what we honestly need from our mate, it's kind of hard for us to mm, be upset at not receiving what you need if you haven't spoken what your needs are.
Now, what if you said it 100 times and he still ain't listening?
Once again, the success of your life rises and falls on the decisions that you make. If he's not where you think he should be or you want him to be, you have the right to say, you know what, Steve? You know what, Frank? You know what, Ted? I love you, but what I need in this relationship, I'm not getting. So I think it's best if we just be friends. But we don't say that. We don't say, hey, Kim, hey, Stacy, hey, Pam, you know what? I needed two ply and you keep buying single. I'm good. I'm out. I can't do the single ply. But we choose to stay because we say, I don't want to be by myself, or I don't want to start over again, or I guess I'll have to deal with X, Y, and Z. No, you don't. You don't have to. It's a choice. So we stay when we say, hey, this is what I need, this is what I need, and I don't get it, and I stay. That's my fault. That's like getting fired from a job and then keep showing up every day. For what? You're no longer employed there. You're no longer needed there. Case in point, if I keep showing up to a relationship that I know I'm not receiving what I want, and I've spoken it time and time again, I'm just showing up to a dead end. And I must love that dead end to keep going back to it. Like the book, Who Moved the Cheese? The mice kept going back to the same dead end thinking the cheese was going to be there, and it wasn't. They had to realize that, hey, this cheese has moved, and if I want some more cheese, I need to go to where the cheese is at. Case in point, if that relationship that you're in is not giving you what you say you need, and you know that God has ordained for your life, it's up to you to move to where the new cheese is at. Who cares if you have to stumble and fall, or who cares if you have to do another detour and turn this corner and turn this corner? If you want what you want, you have to go get what you want and not settle for what's there. In the book Who Moved the Cheese, one of the mice or rats, I can't forget which one it is, he kept going back to the same place and he kept complaining about the same place. How you gonna complain about a place you keep going back to? I'll say that again for the people who hearts I just broke. Why you complaining about the place you keep going back to that's not doing you any good? Stop. It is up to, I'll say it again for the people who came in late. The success of your life rises and falls on the decisions that you make and or do not make. But just so you know, a decision that you do not make is a decision that you have made. So stop complaining about the decisions that you made to stay in a place that you no longer feel safe, you no longer feel secure, you don't see any growth. You know there's no growth. You know he or she don't want no more than what y'all got. If that's not what you want, you have to move on and say, Lord, I, okay, I did it myself. I did this and I went my way. Which way would you have for me to go? I surrender all to thee, my blessed Savior. Because if you don't, you're going to keep reaping the same thing over and over and over. Then you become bitter. Then you start hating on your friends who's happy in their relationships. Then we go back to the class. Then you start seeing other things trickle in your life. Because once that part is dead, but you keep living in it, other things in your life starts to die.
Yeah, when you hold on to dead things, other things are gonna die.
That's just it.
Oh,
Um, Let me say this, and I'll in my closing, I love you. I love y'all, and that's why me and Tisha do this every week. We're gonna pick this back up in the group, and we're gonna have some questions and comments and stuff in the group. But the one thing I want you to remember is it's okay to love you right. You deserve to be loved right. You deserve to have everything that you want out of life. But what you don't deserve is for you to settle. It's for you to say okay to the negative things that's happening in your life. And it's not okay and it's never good for you to give up on you. You have more life to live if you only realize that there's life left to live. I love you. Love, peace, and hair grease. Good night. I'm out.
all right. Number two, understanding. So, fellas, this goes into part of that safety and security, in that she wants you to hear her. She wants to know that you understand her viewpoint, not tearing her down, even if she's wrong. Can you at least see it from her point of view? And if her point of view doesn't make sense, it doesn't mean that you have to tear her down because it doesn't make sense. I mean, you have to consider what happened in her life to make her draw this particular conclusion. Some things we want to think a person would just know, and sometimes that's not the case. But you don't tear them down in the midst of you trying to help them see another way. You crush me, and then what? Just depending on where they are in their walk, in their the love experience, sometimes that doesn't work. Now, I hope the problems that you have, like in the first 5 years, in terms of that, doesn't look like beyond. I was gonna say if you get beyond that, but the problems that you have in year 1, 2, 3, and 4, you shouldn't be still having those same problems in year 9, 12, and 15. We at a point we should have either hit that brick wall enough to know what doesn't work. I know a lot of people in the midst of the pandemic knew that there were things there, but because you had the job to go to and this association to attend, and the organizational meeting on this side, and the kids, something or another, you had all those different distractions. But when we got sheltered in place, yeah, you your partner, and this lumpy rug that you've been walking by for weeks, months, years, perhaps, of unresolved issues that we swept under the carpet. No, you got to deal with those things. And so a woman wants to know that you understand her. And even if to you because, sometimes a woman's logic is not the man's. It's okay, fellas. But understand, Ronald said it earlier, dwell according to knowledge with that woman. Understand your woman. If there's some things that are just going to be, then okay. Know that this is where she's coming from. This is how she see it. She can't see anything beyond it. You already know what to expect. Just like, baby, okay, I understand. Because no amount of fussing, fighting, arguing, Lord knows if you in any kind committed any kind of relationship, listen, don't be dogging your partner out because what you do to them, you're doing to yourself. And a lot of people don't realize that. And you've got to realize that what you're doing to the other person, you're doing to yourself. The third thing is respect. OMG. And even in the women that answered the question, a lot of them say respect. A woman wants to be respected for who she is emotionally, financially, spiritually. Just respected as a woman. And listen, I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how good you look, you dress, and you smell. If you're not respecting me, we can't. There's nothing that we can really do because just as I'm not going to disrespect you, I expect not to be for you to do the same for me. I expect you to respect me as well. So, we can't play that game. You're not gonna be talking down to me. You're not gonna be. We do tease one another in relationship. We have some laughs, but you got to know what you can joke about and what you can't. And don't be fellas, don't be like, oh, she'll be all right. She just in her feelings. Well, why? And why would you? But again, are we communicating effectively? Are you really hearing what your partner is saying to you? Are we communicating effectively? And are you really present? Can I say that before we move on to the next one? Be present in the relationship. Don't be like, okay, we can talk and you on the phone or you watching TV or you on your computer. That's disrespectful. But it also means that you just have no and I mean I've seen situations like that where they're just totally neglected. This phone, this computer, this thing over here, this person, this place, this other noun is more important than the person that you lay next to every night. That can't be. At a point, we have to, like, really, y'all know, have the hard conversations. Are we ever gonna have the hard conversation? Now, I'm not saying that we have to do that every day. Not even suggesting that we necessarily do that weekly, but let's not have issues that we never address. Let's not have a conversation that we never come back to. Let's not do that because again, that's showing how much you don't respect me. So, respect is is key. And a lot of the women that was like high on their list. I need to be respected by the man that I'm with. So, fellas, whatever that means. So, you heard Jay talk about the love languages. So, you showing her that you respect her and you love her. If she is not a gifts person, you can buy her gifts all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. You're not loving her according to her love language. You're not loving her in a way that she sees your action for what it was intended to be. So figure out what it means for her. And hello, can we just do it? It might not be second nature to you, but can you just do it anyway? If that person is a words of affirmation person, that might be a little uncomfortable for you. Can you find some creative ways to help yourself love on them? I don't think that's too much to ask for the person that you say you love and you're committed to. So let's love each other in a way that the other person sees that you actually are loving them. Number 4, devotion and to be cherished. She wants to know that she is a priority and that she is fully supported. Come on now. Don't have no other man. What I love about one of my pastors, I'm not going to say which one it is that her husband knows. You better tell her she beautiful because it's 10 other men out there that's probably ready and are telling her that she's beautiful. You better. Okay? Like seriously. Make her feel like a priority, whatever that means for that woman. So she may be that woman that wants to hear you say it. She may be that woman that wants to see you show it. She may be that woman that needs to see you demonstrate it by maybe you help her out a little bit more at home. Or if you know that she's dealing with something heavy, if she works outside of the home, or it could be, a major situation, maybe in her family or something with the children. Let her know that she's fully supported and cherished by you doing something extra. Don't make her have to cook every night of the week when you capable. Or you at home, you don't take nothing out for dinner. You want her to come home from the parent teacher thing and she had to go take care of somebody and go grocery shopping but you no. Help her feel that she is cherished and fully supported. Number 5 is validation. And so you don't have to agree. You can somebody did tell me that really isn't a true statement that you can agree not to agree, but we got to have a happy medium somewhere. I may not agree with you, but I'm not going to tear you down because of it. I'm not going to go against you because of it. A woman wants to know that you validate her feelings, her thoughts, her emotions, and that even if you don't agree, you know, especially younger, I don't know how it would be now. I haven't been in that situation in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years. I'm a very make it happen kind of person. I'm gonna do what it takes. I'm going to all of that. Even if you don't agree. I have people telling me now, you gotta rest, you gotta sleep. Shout out to y'all. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the love, especially from the men folk who ain't even my man. Thank you. I appreciate you for loving on me that way. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to love a person enough to let them walk down the path. Listen, as a wife, ladies, sometimes the Lord spoke to you, the Lord showed you, He gave you a vision, He showed you the outcome. You shared it. He like, nah, baby, this, babe, this. You just gotta pray for him. Be right there with the emergency kit, the band-aids and the peroxide, so you can patch him up because you already know where the path is gonna lead. And if he's a what I love about one of my brothers, can I say the name? One of my brother, Pastor Darrell, he will when he realizes. Now I don't know specific situations, so bruh, don't get mad. But I'm just saying I understand that he will come back and say, "Hey, baby, yeah, I should have listened to you on that." That's a strong man. That's not a weak man that would do that. That's a strong man. That's a man that values his woman, even if in the midst of it he can't see what she's trying to share. Listen, men, you've been given a helper. Help your helper help you. Like seriously. You've been given a helper. Help your helper help you effectively. Don't be so staunch and stern and I gotta do it my way. Listen, a lot of y'all in the church and things, and I know you've been given a helper. Help your helper help you. Don't always dismiss what you hear her say. If it's coming from a place of love, sir, listen. And if you still do it your way and your way is not the right way, be man enough to come back and apologize. Ladies, same for you, because the men will have the same admission that we don't go back and apologize. A strong woman will admit her mistakes. A strong woman, a strong, confident, bold woman will go back and say, not in a nasty way either. We'll go back and say, baby, you were right. I should have listened to you. My bad. You know, work that thing out. Like, seriously. Don't just be out here floundering, you know, trying to do it your way. That defeats the purpose of the team. That defeats the purpose of us being connected. That defeats the purpose of the two flesh coming together to be one. We fighting each other, and it ought not to be that way. We need to be working together in partnership. Number 6 of the 6 emotional needs, according to John Gray, from Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, is reassurance and affirmation. And so that is not letting your partner feel alone. There's a song, I can't remember who is it by. I'd rather be alone together. The Marsha Ambrosius and somebody else. I just rather be alone together. I'm gonna be alone in a relationship, but we're gonna be together. What? That don't make sense. Hello, somebody. No, thank you. Let's let's work this thing out together. Affirming her and who she is. Helping to build her confidence. Now listen, everybody got to do their own work. Point blank period. But if we are a team, there's no I in team. We're a team. We are partners. We're in partnership. We're collaborating. We've committed to be in a covenant together. I win, you win. I was married to somebody and I couldn't understand how you could be jealous of me because when I win, you win. What I do is for you get the benefit too. And my mother didn't raise no selfish. I'm my mother's only child. I grew up alone, but I'm in no way selfish. And so, of course, I'm gonna treat my partner that way. But why you mad? I get a little success and you jealous? If I look good, what men gotta realize, if the standard, I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna wrap it up. If the standard of the success of your relationship is based on how your woman presents herself, how she feels about herself. Now, again, I'm talking about a woman that's doing her own work, how she shows up. She show up, toe up, beat down. That's the reflection of you, sir. Because at some point, you got to say, okay, look, this ain't working. What you need? You can't do the work for her, but you can certainly guide her to somebody to help her do her work. So if I, as the woman, am going to be the reflection of you, but I'm tore from the flow up and you ain't trying to get me up, that's a reflection of you, sir. You're the one that's supposed to sacrifice. I didn't say it, the Bible said it. But you got a lot of people out here like ain't trying to sacrifice nothing for nobody but themselves. So if we're going to have a standard in the relationship, it starts with effective communication. Can we talk about it? Can we pray about it? Can we journal about it? Can we talk to other people about it? Can we read books about it? Can we do some work? Can we just walk through it together? A woman doesn't want to feel like she in a relationship by herself. I don't care what kind of woman she is. I don't care how alpha she claimed to be. She don't want to be in a relationship by herself. That's a whole nother show. But I'm just saying, the woman who is like, I don't need no man, really do need one. She just got to get over herself. But we want to have our needs met because, listen, Miles Monroe said it. I don't know if he was the first one to say it, but he was like, you give a woman something, she's going to make it into something bigger than what you gave to her. You plant the seed, she going to make it grow. When you look at Proverbs 31 and you look at that woman, the things, the principles, that's a woman who has taken what he has given, what he has allowed her to flourish in, and make him look good. He look good at the gates because what? Because of who she is and all that she does. So as we consider her needs, let's talk about what her needs are and understand that everybody's going to be in a different space. I don't care if y'all did grow up side by side. If you take siblings, grew up in the same house, sometimes you look at the dynamic of the family and be like, who raised you? Who who, who gave birth to you? Where'd you grow up? Because you didn't grow up in the same house that they grew up in. You're going to have that. And regardless of that, you have to make it work. You got to have the conversation. You got to have the hard conversations. You got to be willing to communicate. You got to be willing to make some sacrifices. You have to be willing to do some compromise. Relationship, again, is not just what you want, but it's not just what your partner want either. Y'all have to come together to have a consensus about what we are going to do. So her needs, fellas, if you haven't considered, I don't care how, if you've been married 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, or 20 years, I want you to sit back, step back if you haven't, and look at what her needs are. Are you making the mark? Give your own self a grade as to how you are meeting her needs. If you doing a B minus or below, there's room for improvement. If you like, I'm a D plus, C minus at best, you got a lot of work to do. If you like, I got an F and okay, whatever, I'm gonna need you to do something. Like seriously. With all that's going on in the world, with all that is happening now, and with what's yet to come, hear me, somebody. You're going to need to make sure your relationship, your most intimate relationships, are secure. You're going to need to make sure that what you think is on a solid foundation, you need to make sure that that foundation really is solid. I promise you, there are some good days ahead and some not so good days ahead. Gotta be sure. So I hope that someone has gotten something out of this. Listen, share this broadcast with somebody that needs this conversation. Someone you know. Look, I'm bold. I'm about to go through my messages, send it to every man I know. Because I want the fellas to be on point. And next month, when we talk about his needs in the month of Father's Day in June, because we're going to do it the Friday after Father's Day, we're going to talk about his needs. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to make sure the ladies are front and center so they can be a part of this conversation. Because time out for everything that's been. Come on, let's do something different. Let's do something meaningful. Let's do something impactful because y'all got kids and your kids is watching you. You like what they're seeing? Do you like the behavior that they're mimicking? They got it from you or they got it from somewhere. Even if, because it could be the opposite of what you did, but they still got it from you. Are you happy about that? So, just some things to consider. All right, listen. In the words of Coach Jay, I love y'all. I hope that again you have found some good stuff out of this conversation. We are truly thankful and grateful that you join us every Friday. Listen to our the best group in all of Facebook land for the Lover in You group. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for rocking with us. We have a good time. If you haven't joined the group, then you want to make sure that you join. Contact one of us or go to the link that's scrolling at the bottom, bit.ly/Lover in You group, and that'll connect you to the page and answer the questions. Answer the questions so you can be admitted to the group. It's a drama-free place. We ain't doing drama, and we do have some intense stuff going on at times. But we have no problem if you don't adhere to the rules and regulations. We have no problem saying God bless you. In the words of Greg Davis, go with God. We definitely will do that. But you guys have a great and awesome night. See you next Friday, and see you before then. Yeah, I will be back probably tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. And then Monday next week, definitely. So, all right, you guys. Love you guys. Have a great and awesome night. Talk to you soon.